Wow, we are live. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah. The challenge is I really can't touch my phone. If not, I've shared. But let's continue then. I lost it for a while. Maybe lag, network issues, but I lost it for like 30 seconds. Okay, guys, we'll wait briefly for the host to return back to the call so that he can officially initiate the call. But while we wait for him, I believe the essence or the base of this call is basically around how to build scalable products or how to build product at scale. And when we say product, we basically are basing that definition on softwares, SaaS softwares, um, software that can be used directly with users, software that users can consume directly, software that can be sold as a SaaS model, or different forms of softwares. And that is the anchor for this base discussion this evening. So we'll just wait a while the host join in. We'll let the host join in on the conversation. So, but while we wait, I really can't see what's happening on the other end of socials. So, as we wait for the host to come in, just feel free to drop a comment or drop something, or say hi or say hello if you're watching this stream.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, you're back.
Okay, go ahead now.
Yes, I didn't hear what you said. The last statement you made. I was trying to keep the seats warm. I'm trying to keep the seats warm while you were out.
Oh, sorry, I had a little issue. I had to switch my network. So I was saying we would like to get to know you, your name, what you do, and probably any other thing we need to know about you. I know that you're married, so maybe something else.
Ah, okay. So my name is Godwin Jimmy, and I prefer to say I'm a software engineer or I'm a developer, right? Like every other person who writes code. I'm just like every other person who writes code, and I'm a CTO at Downtown, and that's as far as I want to go in terms of work. right? About my personal life, I'm a big lover of eFootball to FIFA. So those of you who love FIFA more than eFootball, watch out. I think if I come, I'm gonna smash them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think your network is breaking.
Are you serious? You're struggling to hear me?
It's better now.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Okay, so our conversation today is to look at products. People, this is the end of the year. A lot of persons, companies winding up, for the year. Businesses are closing up for the year, so they have done their part, they have done their math, so they think, okay, it's the perfect time to strategize for the new year. So people are building new products, so but they don't have this assurance that their products is going to scale, is going to sell. So we want to know those things that will qualify a product, qualify something to be a product first, and how business owners, entrepreneurs can scale their products. So we would like to know what is a product. What will you consider a product? Because we build so many things, I will call this in a product. So to you, you're a professional. You've built products, and you've helped businesses, scale their products. What would you consider to be a product?
Me on mute my mic. Okay, so what do I consider? Let me start from what I consider to be a product. A product is anything that is software that makes me money. That's a product. Even if it's no matter how beautiful it is, no matter how technical it is, whether you build it with an AI, whether you build it on the blockchain, whether it's built using a quantum computer, if it's not making me money, if it's not making the owner money, I just feel we don't have anything.
Okay, so while we're waiting for my guest, I
As
think
a
he's
product.
having a little bit of network.
Are you here? Am I lagging? Okay, so as I was saying, anything that makes the owner money, I will consider that a product.
Okay, sorry, you're frozen here. So
Are you serious?
can you hear me?
I can hear you
I'm
clearly.
struggling to hear you.
I can hear you clearly, and I'm actually watching the live on
Okay,
Facebook.
so
And
thank you
yeah,
for that clarity. So for helping us understand what it takes to what can be considered a product. So we want to know because people are not clear on what that product is. Oh, fantastic. So people are having challenges. They want to know what do I do to scale my product? At what point will I know that this product will be successful in the market? So what are those things you can look at and say this product will be successful?
metrics to confirm you can hear me now clearly. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, yes.
Perfect. So first of all, let's start with building the product first of all, because if we go into what will make it
Exactly.
successful, and we're not talk about building it, then we're going to be in trouble because you're going to start chasing
Okay.
how do they call it? The rainbow, the goal at the end of the rainbow, without really understanding what to expect at the other end. So a lot of times,
Okay.
and this is one of the things we suffer as devs, And for me as a CTO, it's worse because people meet you and they be, oh, you're a CTO, right? You should be able to build Google. So I want to build Google. And in that Google, I want you to add something like Netflix in it and add something like AWS into it, right? And these things sound exciting in their heads, but a lot of people don't understand what goes into making these things work. A lot of people don't know how these things work.
Exactly.
So I've had cases where somebody reach out to me and say, oh, I want to build a community kind of thing that allows people to do X, Y, and Z, allows people to do this, this, and this. And I said, perfect, good for you. Thank God for you. But how do you plan to make money from this thing you're building? And he said, along the line, we will look for a way. And I said, look at it this way. You're going to spend money. You're going to spend money to build something.
This thing.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you don't want to get it wrong. You don't want a scenario where you spend 6 million, 8 million, 10, 15, 20 million building something, because sometimes a lot of people think products take 2 days. Products takes 2 weeks or 2 months. It takes time. A lot of good things you see that's working, it takes time. It takes multiple iterations, people coming back to say, okay, no, switch this, change this, remove this, add this, multiple iterations before it gets to that place where somebody can say, okay, wow, we love this, right? So the first point or the first thing we want to address is, this thing you want to build, is it really solving a problem? This thing you choose to build, is it really solving a need? 1, 2.
Okay.
Is it a need that I will be paid for? Because there is no need to solve a problem that I won't be paid for. I'm not in charity work. Of course, there's a place of charity. We understand that. There's a place of charity. We understand that. But if I'm going to spend this amount of money and my time and my life, because if it's just the cash alone, that I can even let go. But I'm going to be putting in a lot of my life and my personal stuff into this. It's going to be a lot of, because there's a lot of emotional roller coaster in development of software. Most people don't know about this, right? So if I'm going to be doing this, I need to be certain, I need to be convinced within me that this is going to work. And I need to be able to say, okay, this is going to give me money. And I need to know how it will give me money. No assumptions. I need to establish what are the business revenue, what is the revenue model for this product? Is it going to be a SaaS model? Is it going to be a one-off payment model? Is it going to be a white label model? These are different models of software. Either you white label the model out there. Is it going to be what's it called, a fee or a fee charge kind of business model? Is it going to be an API structure where I put out the API and charge monthly, or charge a one-time fee, or charge a white labeling fee, or do a subscription fee? I need to be able to establish these models before I start talking about developers and GitHub and AWS. So these are the conversations that need to happen first.
So these things happen first before you start building the products.
Most people meet a lot of young people who are developers who just learned React newly. So they don't have these conversations. They build things that they are there, but they are just there, right? So, but in the real sense of things, these are the things that need to happen first. People need to be able to say, if I put in $1,000, I should be getting $1,000 back in 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 years.
Okay. So for me as a business person, so I need to be clear on the problem I'm solving first, and I need to be clear on how I'm going to make money from this thing I'm about to do. So it all revolves around the understanding the business part of product building, right?
Yeah. You must first of all understand the business of the product. Something we call the business of the product.
Oh yeah, the business of the product. I'm very particular about that sort. So let's take it to the next level. Yeah. So if we look at what are some of those things again we need to consider, because a lot of us are already about to roll out products for next year. People are building, trying to disrupt, trying to add more value to what's already there. So and they don't have it. They want to get Facebook out of business, get Twitter out of business. They want to make it something new.
Yeah.
The Facebook has been there, and somebody that just started yesterday wants to take Facebook out. Good luck with that. So we want to know what are those new things? No, no, those things we need to be considering aside from the business aspect of it. What are those we need to consider before we, scale that we need to consider before we scale this our product? We say we have a product, so how do we scale them? How do we take it to the next level as a business person?
Okay. You asked two questions inside one. Let me try to separate them. You asked what are the
Okay.
things that we consider, right, before
Yeah.
having these things, apart from the business, what else do we consider and how exactly do we scale?
Yes.
I'll take the first. But what are the things that you consider? Consider your family first. Are they willing to lose a child? Are they willing to lose a child? Because they
You
may
see,
lose you in the process.
okay. You go, um, go ahead.
So they may lose you in the process. So the first thing I tell people consider is consider yourself first, because
Okay.
there are days when this thing is resources you are spending, your time,
Yeah.
your effort, your everything. See, it can be so mentally and emotionally straining that you can wake up one day and say you're not doing again.
Mm, I've been there.
So you need to be first of all muster the courage and tell yourself, if not die, we go die this die once
Good
for rest.
idea.
This thing must come out. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Sorry, can
Yeah.
I switch? I don't know. I'm having issues with power. Can I just? I don't know if it will affect the audio. Let me know if it affects the audio, please. Let me quickly switch this. If possible, I might even get the earpiece. How's the audio now? Is it still better?
It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So you must first of all ask that question and clear that conversation completely and tell yourself, I will have the willpower, I will have the zeal. And I say this, I've engaged in projects where somebody spends 1.6 million for design
It is
only,
affected now.
and they never completed that project. Where they came and they were really passionate about this thing, and they said, let's get a design. And I said, okay, fine. I guess I got a team together, did a design for the product, we did the product documentation, everything. They spent in millions. Not this is not 200. This is not 200K. 1.6 million in naira. And they woke up and said, I beg, we're not doing again.
Haven't spent all that amount of money.
We're not doing again. So
Wow.
you first need to tell yourself that, look, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I've had people call me and say, oh, I have this wonderful idea. And that's one of the things I've now learned to do. When somebody call me with a crazy idea, it sounds good, I tell them, go back and think of how you make money from this thing in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year. If you can think of that and know that you will not make, you yourself as a person who is putting in this money may not make profit. The business would make a certain amount of money, but you might not make profit for the next 6 months. Know that. So think of a way that you'll be able to live, whether the business succeeds in making revenue or not, you'll be able to live, and you'll be able to fund this thing in 6 months or in 5 months or in 1 year, whether you're making money or not. When you solve that problem on your own and when you're able to think that out, it's going to be easy for you to come back and say, okay, I have sorted it out. And this is going to come from maybe money I kept somewhere, money I invested somewhere, money I'm gathering somewhere, or money I have saved up somewhere. And I'm going to use this to fund this thing for the next 6 months, right? And another thing I also tell people to consider before, apart from just the business, is you need to have a very sound marketing stroke sales person, either in your circle as friends, either you're hiring, but ensure you have somebody who is equipped with the skill of selling, because it is vital. As engineers, we can only build. The people who make what we build relevant are the guys who go to the market and sell it. If nobody can sell what you build, it's trash. Right? That's just what it is. It's trash. So you need to be able to get somebody in that circle, in your business, and somehow related to you that knows how to make the numbers go up. Somebody that is number conscious. Somebody who, when we're having discussions around the product, he or she will be telling you, okay, how much money can we make in 6 months? You ask them, okay, this is what we have to offer. It is a SaaS model. How many users do we need to generate the overhead cost month after month? If it's going to be 12 users, if it's going to be 50 users, they say, okay, how best do we get 50 users onboarded? Do we do direct marketing? Do we do reach out? What exactly do we do to bring in these 50 guys into the mix so that every month over month, we are sure that we're able to bring in 10 people. We're sure we're able to bring in 15 people. We're sure we're able to bring in 12 people month after month. So the sales and the marketing part is something that must be discussed and closed before you release the first paycheck for a product.
Okay, that was great. I hope you can hear me. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, clearly. I've lost you now. You're breaking. Are you there? Okay, while we wait for the host to return back to the call, I possibly would continue to just flesh out certain things, so we don't lose time while we wait for the host to join. We have limited time. So a couple of things that should be highlighted, like I mentioned, the base facts of where you're coming from. Do you have the necessary resources to fund the project? Do you have the necessary resources in terms of salesman, in terms of the team, in terms of the people around you? And this is one thing I've also learned in the little I've been around. One of the things I've learned is a good team around you is priceless. So beyond just having money, having resources, it's important to have a very good team around you that is also backing you, that's also supporting you, and people who understand what you're trying to achieve. When people understand what you're trying to achieve, they have a way of expressing their views or their perspective on your vision. And that's one of the ways that vision becomes colorful. Because if it's just me, then there's no color to that vision. But if I'm able to communicate that vision to 5 people who work with me and say, this is what I'm trying to achieve, they bring in their own perspective into that vision and it becomes very colorful. Yeah, host is back. So I hand over to the host now. Mr. Bright, are you there? Okay, seems he's still having issues with his internet. So give him some time, and if it continues, I might switch over to continue the next question he asked. And the second question he asked, which is actually the theme for the session, is how do I actually build scalable products? And depends on what you call scalable, though. Depends on what we call scalable because success is relative per individual, right? So if you ask a child who's struggling in school and is barely meeting up with his assignment, his work stuff in school. If you ask that child what success is, let's say somebody who's coming 30th in class, out of 31 people, guy comes 13th class. And if you ask that guy what success is, the guy might tell you all he just wants is to come out of among the top 5 guys in the classroom, right? And the guy who comes first in class, if you ask him, what do you define as success? He will tell you, I want to maintain this and also maybe pick up on other awards like best science student. This I want to break the school's average for this particular subject or that particular subject. So the concept of scalability and the concept of success and the concept of results is relative to certain things that you're building. So, for example, if you're building a social media application, success would not necessarily mean that you have a lot of numbers. Numbers can count as success, but you need people to be interacting with it in a way that you can mine data and you can sell that data, right? If you build a SaaS software, for example, if you have 10,000 people as users who are using your free plan and only 2 people is using the paid plan, that is not success. So success is relative to the particular thing you're building. So it depends on what you're building. That's what the scalability depends on. But the two things I'll pick on this conversation is I'll pick the SaaS model and possibly I'll pick the percentage profit model. So for the SaaS model where people get to pay recurring expenses, which is like month over month, our Netflix subscription, our Hulu subscription, Disney Plus subscription. What else do we use that we pay month over month? Those softwares are things that are SaaS products, right? So those ones that we pay recurring expenses, your target is not that people should just come and use free versions. What scalability means to you is that you are able to get more people to come in and use the product while spending less on marketing. So if you started the first month with 10 users or 15 users paying you $10 per month, that is about $150, right? 15 users paying $10, $150. The target is not to spend the 150 in marketing to get another 10, because if you do that, you most likely have spent the monthly revenue you accumulated for the previous month. So the target is, how can I spend less month after month? If my budget for marketing is 150K or 200,000, month after month, I should be able to start churning in more people. So if this month we got 10 users, next month we should get 15 users to add to our 10 users. And for SaaS model, there's what we call drop off. So the 10 users that subscribed last month, maybe only 7 can subscribe, maybe only 5, you have drop off, right? So scalability is coming to that place where month after month, you're able to grow the project, the product into the place where you want it to grow to. Scalability can also be expanding that product to accommodate more, right? So, for example, if you run an exchange like Downtown, for example, scalability for you or being able to scale may necessarily not be to add more tokens. Scalability may be to house 10,000 users real time and have the ability that while these 10,000 users are trading, you accumulate the liquidity that can service these guys real time. So scalability is relative from the perspective we're attacking it from. Yeah. Mr. Bright, you're back? Oh, since Mr. Bright is still having slight challenges with his internet. Okay, so while we still wait for Mr. Bright to sort out the issue with the internet, so that's basically our base for this conversation. I think I still notice, I think I have about 2 people online. So if you have any concerns, questions, please feel free to drop while we continue on the session. So I think we still have about 27 minutes to go. So I'll point out a few things and I'll cap it in like 20, 30 minutes. So the first thing I'll point out is, for you to build a product, you first of all need to understand the market you're trying to dive into actively, right? For example, if I'm going into e-commerce, for example, the the market of e-commerce is a little bit flooded, right? But the question I should be asking myself is how profitable would an e-commerce business be? If I decide to build an e-commerce app now and I use maybe Shopify or WooCommerce on WordPress, or have somebody build it for me from scratch, React or Next.js, Node.js for the backend, and maybe AWS for the server or something. How profitable would this business be? How much will I be spending as my overhead month over month? And how profitable would this business be? Those are the things that has to be considered. And when you talk about profitability of a software, as much as you can, eliminate assumptions. Don't say, oh, Jumia has 10,000 users or Jumia has 15 million users and Jumia makes X amount of money every month. Jumia is 9 years old. It took them time to get there. So do you have 9 years to spend building one thing? If you don't, then you start asking yourself, what can I build now based on two things, based on the current trend of things, based on the markets, based on my location, based on my resources. What can 1 million give me? What can 500,000 build me that I can maintain for the next 6 months or 8 months that I can run, I can carry along? And a lot of times when you think of building things, it is important to also consider how to cut down costs on your end in terms of development, because people spend like 10 million to build something and they're not willing to spend 2 million to do adverts or to do promotions. And I tell people, if you ask me now, I've learned I'll prefer to spend 1 month to build something very small and spend, let's assume if I spend $1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 or whatever, right? I would prefer to spend 2 times that amount of money to market it so that people will get to see it, interact with it, use it, and I get the right feedback to continue for that iteration, because that's the only way people can really make money from what they have built. So if you are thinking of building anything this period, I will give you some advice, and they are not financial advices. This is just me to you on educational basis, right? One of the things you want to start considering is there's something we call the bull run in crypto every 4 years, and it's going to be happening next year. So crypto is going to be very hot in a couple of months. In a few months, we're going to have a lot of gist around crypto. The whole monkey picture NFTs thing will be back. A lot of new trends will come in. A lot of things will bubble up, right? So, what are the solutions that you think you can build on on the blockchain? What exactly is the blockchain? And what are the solutions that you think you can build on the blockchain? Well, how can you build on the blockchain? Number two place that if I am to build anything today, I would consider would be the service industry. So the service industry is one that is continually growing, and the reason why it's continually growing because um, economies are changing. The economy of certain countries are evolving, right? For example, I'm in Rwanda, and one of the things I notice in this environment is if you're not careful, you become lazy in the sense that a lot of things happen at your doorstep. If you want to meet, how many kg of meat do you want? What type of meat do you want? And delivered to your doorstep. If you want fish, the same thing happens. If you want water, like seaway water kind of thing, the same thing happens. If you want what else? Anything you want, you can basically just shop and have somebody deliver it for you for a token, right? So service models like that, those who are working remotely are kind of getting used to that kind of lifestyle. And even those who work in offices are saying, oh, I don't mind spending 1,000 naira for somebody to bring this whole, I give you a list of items, you just bring it over to my place without stress, right? So if I'm to do something now on the service model, one of the things, or one of the things I would love to do is build something around delivery, build something around shipping, build something around logistics of both soft products and hard products, moving it back and forth, because there is a lot of money in moving stuff, right? Moving stuff you get to make, and it's a constant process, right? There are businesses that depend on logistic companies, right, to run and to exist. So I'll think of building, if I have to think, I'll think of building something in that region or in that direction. Another thing also that is based on our season that would become very relevant is the buzz for AI is massive, right? People have been talking a lot about AI this, AI that. learning model this, LLM, right? Yeah, learning models, right? LMS is a learning model structure, yeah. So something like that. So people have been talking a lot about it, and one of the things I noticed is when certain things come into trend, there are people who talk about it. There are people who know about it, who go to dig about it, and there are people who surf that wave and make something of that wave. So you will decide the kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be the person who surfs the wave and enjoy the wave, or you want to be somebody who talk about it? Oh, yeah, AI this, AI that, ChatGPT, bad AI, this AI, that AI, this that. And one of the things I see people use AI to do basically has only been to generate images. And it's nice, updating your profile on Facebook, posting it on Instagram. It's nice, right? But it doesn't convert to anything more than that, more than 10 likes, 15 likes, 20 likes. And really, likes don't convert or switch to fun. So we want to consider around AI, what are the things that I can do or I can build that will allow people to build things, or to not just build, allow people to solve math problems, allow people to solve English problems, allow people to do assignments, allow people to, what else? Write projects, allow people to do as much as possible. So these are the things I will consider. Mr. Bryce, if you're here with me, you can wave.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, clearly.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
thank you so much for your time. I'm so sorry, my network has been terrible and you've been
It's
here
fine.
all alone all this time. But I hope my audience they got to learn a lot from you, because I know there's no better person to talk about this than you. So just give us your final thoughts, your final words, and if there's any products you want to talk to us about, because I know you're working on several products. So, but we'll have developers listening to you now, those who will listen to you later. So if there's this one product you want them to maybe jump into, or you want them to know, just in the next 2 minutes, just share it with us.
Okay, my final thoughts. My final thoughts. Don't start if you're gonna quit. That's my final thought. If you know you're gonna give up halfway, don't start. Save us the
Uh,
stress, save us the drama, save us the heartbreak, save us the tears. Don't start. But if you know you're gonna start, put in every single thing you need to put in
just
to
save us
ensure that,
everything.
yeah, save us that stress. It's too much. We can't be telling you sorry every time. Save us all that drama. But if you know you're gonna go through with it, go through with it to the end. And I tell you, Nigeria especially, our economy is evolving, right? Things are happening in the downwards, but there's an evolution going on, and people are adopting softwares a lot, right? So I'll still tell you, build something small environment, pick 10, 150 people that can pay you real time, and build something to service those people and have them onboarded. And always watch out for issues that you can solve using software. Also, not all problems demand software to be solved. Some problems demand common sense and documentation. Some will require software. Products that people I should talk about. I want to talk
Yeah.
about, first of all, downtown, which of course is my big baby. Yeah. So please, for those of us who are crypto traders, as the bull run is coming, downtown will be having a handful of tokens that you can buy, that you can sell. We're going to be having that on downtown. We're going to be listing some very awesome tokens on downtown. So please go ahead and download the downtown app on your mobile. And yeah, you should be able to, if you have that on your mobile, you should be able to get all the latest token and information on token as they drop. Apart from downtown, SuperAuth is also there. For those of you who are looking to building Web3 applications, whether you want to build with code or no code, SuperAuth is the bridge to the blockchain. So you want to build anything with the blockchain on the blockchain, you don't have to learn how to write Solidity. That's too much work. We have done that work for you. All we are saying is come and take APIs that allows you to connect to different blockchains. As at the moment, about 5 blockchains, and also gives you access to build dApps, DEXs, NFT marketplaces. And by January, February, we're going to be introducing our no code tools. What that means is you should be able to build a decentralized exchange using WordPress and using Bubble and using Flutterflow. So it's going to be huge. We're looking at, as the bull run is coming, we're looking to bring in the blockchain closer to the code and the no code guys. So you don't need to learn all the intricacies of the blockchain. That's our work to handle. We just provide you with the endpoints that allows you to stretch the limits of the blockchain, and you build your magic on spot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time. Thank
Thank you
you
so
for
much.
joining us today. I've learned a whole lot. Thank you so much. And have an amazing day. We would like to get the
You
URL
too.
later. I'll get it from you and then I'll post it so that they can just go check it out.
Thank you so much. Right.
Okay, so
Cheers.
we'd like to get the URL. Yeah, thank
Come
you so
again.
much and have a good day.
Yeah.
So we'd like to get the URL so they can just go and check it out for themselves.
Oh, okay, I can do that. Let me quickly live chat.
Yeah, so just drop it for me, then I'll share it with them. Have an amazing day.
You too, Chief.